Good afternoon.
Good
This
evening.
is Gabriel Twist,
An Amber Twist.
and welcome to Ever Felt Like This, Australia's barely tolerated #1 round the twist based podcast.
Twist the round.
Not a roundabout podcast, which, based on my understanding of foreign driving, would be like of interest.
I'm interested in it.
Because I didn't realize that like not a lot of other countries use roundabouts. They're just
Really?
they're very ubiquitous. Like it's just everything. Yeah, I don't know.
How do they solve traffic?
I don't think they do.
Oh,
Like I think that's just that's why like a lot of people just go insane.
makes
know?
sense, yeah.
Like that documentary Falling Down where he just gets out of the car and just walks away. And it's like I kind of understand that, if you just like, what do you do? Well, I sit in the car and I get angry. And it's like, yeah. Then sometimes that takes 2 hours, so I just get really angry. And it's like, all right, yeah, just walk off. That's fine, I kind of feel that. Today's episode is called Linda Godiva, and when I read the title, I was like, well, there's no way they're gonna go that far into the Lady Godiva, sort of myth. And well, I was wrong. I find myself saying this a lot, but there's a surprising amount of child nudity in this series.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
Because the expected amount particularly these days, is none. Just zero.
Zero.
Yeah, and again, like, it's that kind of problem where it's like, I don't want pedophiles to ruin everything.
No.
Because I always think back to, it was this fucking website that was all, like, just photos of under 15s boys wrestling. And it's, like, very clear that this is a website for people to masturbate to. But, like, also, we're not talking, like, it was legitimate, like, actual wrestling.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't like just, oh, yeah, we've fucking abducted some children and dressed them in, like, singlets.
No.
It was just like, oh, yeah, this is just, like, the fucking local primary school's, like, wrestling thing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
They ruined that.
yeah. And it's just one of those things where it's like, you can't, if you let people masturbating at stuff stop that thing, you're going to have nothing. That's the problem.
I'm masturbating right now.
Look, but like, that's, it kind of gets to this. It's like, all right, yeah, it shouldn't be a big deal, but it just does stand out.
Yeah.
So it's about a floating perfume bottle, basically.
The opening...
It's just not explained at all, or even mentioned.
No, the opening is like just a perfume bottle floating in the air and Linda walking to it looking very confused. And
Based on the music, I figured they were going for some kind of genie bullshit.
yeah, because she picks it up and it goes psh, and like pink mist comes out, and then her head goes to the bottle, and yeah, it's playing genie music,
Yeah.
and it pops up the words like Linda Godiva, and it looks like the font used from a show like Lizzie McGuire or like Hannah Montana or something, and it kind of froze.
Yeah.
The title screen just stopped moving; it just froze, and I was like, did the internet freeze or something?
I think that's where their very early version of Adobe Editing Suite crashed. Just
Because then, yeah, it goes straight into the episode, and it's just Linda's giving a show and tell on the perfume bottle
yeah,
that she found at the tip.
I know that's the most explanation we get.
Yeah.
and this is one element of the episode that I think feels insanely phoned in. Because normally why the thing is there is like part of the story. It's generally integrated into it. Like, yeah, there's a ghost in this, and it's about helping the ghost or some shit.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just like, I got this from the tip, and that's fucking it.
That's
That is
it.
the length and breadth of our understanding of why she's got this perfume bottle, that it turns out when she sprays herself with it, it like makes her invisible, but
Kinda?
yeah, like it's confusing because it makes her invisible, but the visible part of her is in the bottle or some shit.
Because when she starts, she's like, she's talking about history and how it's interesting, like this perfume atomizer she found at the tip, and she tries to use it, and it doesn't work. And I just want to point out, of course it doesn't work, Linda, you dumb slut, because there's nothing in it.
Yeah, there's nothing to atomize. It's an atomizer.
Yeah.
What's it atom? Like the air? Like it's just a fart machine then.
So yeah, then the like snapper's like, yes, that's interesting. Linda, go sit down, you tramp.
I do like how dismissive, like the second the atomizer doesn't work, he's just, well, this is shit. Oh, fucking...
I expect you children to bring things that work.
Yeah, this isn't like show and tell. Like, I mean, to be fair, if I were teaching a class and a kid got up and said, I found this at the tip for show and tell, and then it didn't work, like I wouldn't be dismissive, but it would be one of those things where I would be quietly dying inside. Like, I would be crying. I'd be like, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen. This child, for show and tell, rummaged through the fucking dump like a rat and didn't even manage to pull out anything that worked. Like, if you showed up with, like, half a Nerf gun that still fired, I'd be like, hey, look at that. But you showed up and you had your little thing and it didn't work, and now I'm sad.
So yeah, she sends it back to her seat until he's like, Mr. Gribble has an announcement. And so Gribble gets up and he's talking about how they're returning for the Crown and the Jewel Festival.
Yeah.
Which is an odd name.
I swear every episode's had a festival lately.
There has been,
every
yeah.
episode is just, it's important around us. And like, to be fair, towns in Australia will do this shit.
Yeah.
Like, just as like, so, and look,
they want an excuse to drink and have a public holiday.
Something
And you know
to
what?
do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere, basically.
So they're talking about a famous horse race that happened that was like the founding of the town or something.
I think, like, well, they're having a horse race to celebrate it, but it was like two guys were racing to be the first to discover Port Naranga.
Yeah.
One took an inland route and one took a coastal route, and like, the inland route one is like, fucking Gribble's ancestor.
Yeah, William Wiley, who he says is
Dr. Wiley
is his ancestor, and for some reason, Gribble seems to have a problem with the speech in this episode. Like, he's trying to say relative, and he can't say relative.
Yeah, that's weird because it just sort of didn't go anywhere.
Never else come up anywhere, and he's trying to say Roy Wright, but he says Roy White, and corrects himself. But yeah, so Roy Wright is the one who didn't make it, and Gribble makes fun of him.
Yeah.
For going the silly route, and he's like, I need, the William Wiley will be played by the direct descendant, or my son James, and Gribble's like, yeah, and he's like, and we need someone to play Roy, and like 3 girls put up their hands because they're obviously like in the pony club or whatever.
Yeah, these are also the 3 girls that like Pete's been trying to, I don't know, jack off over for the
they're the ones that he chased off the beach.
His like horny Cerberus.
And he's like, well, William Wiley, Roy Wright was a man, so we're not gonna have anyone else play him. And they're like, that's sexist. And he's like, well, it's how we're doing it. So anyone volunteer, and they put up their hands again, and Pete's just enamored with them, and he puts his hand up too, because he's just mirroring them, because he's like a chimpanzee, I guess.
Fucking idiot.
So they're like, oh, Pete, well, Pete Twist, we got that, and Pete's like, me with a horse? Has he ever come up that he's scared of horses? I don't think so.
I mean, I vaguely remember the fucking Kiss lipstick had like stables at some point, but I don't think it was hugely relevant to the plot.
But either way, he's like, okay, I'll do it, because he wants to impress the women.
Yeah. And so like, now they're sort of, Pete and Linda are walking home, and Pete's, basically having a panic attack, and Linda's fiddling with the atomizer and manages to spray herself with it, and Matt goes, for like Australian children's television, reasonably invisible. And then Pete like kind of confesses that like he's scared, but like you think he's scared of riding the horses, but the thing that's like really scaring him is what if all 3 girls fall in love with him and then he has to choose?
That's not happening, Pete.
Yeah.
You have a better chance of winning the lottery right now.
I mean, I will say, at least for this, like, character turn, they did have him break up with, like, Faye or whatever.
Fiona,
that's it. I always get that mixed up.
Which is really funny because I swear one of the 3 girls who played it was the same actor who played.
Yeah, because I think the Fiona actress is still around.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't
she's
know
just
if she's
in the background.
Yeah, she's just like a background character now, and I don't like... It's like, all right.
So yeah,
I suppose there's not a lot to do if Pete's just with Fiona all the time, but I still also think that this is kind of like worse.
Yeah.
I think like him trying to navigate like a relationship with Fiona would be more interesting than him just being like dumb and horny all the time.
Striking out all the time. It's because it's the same girls as well. If it was different girls, it would be a little bit more pizzazz.
Yeah. Like him being dumb enough to break up with his girlfriend because he just wants to like, I don't know, tag some strange is, that's understandable. Like that, you like, all right, you're an idiot, but like that's also something that like a teenage idiot.
You're not a ladies' man. You lucked into this relationship
I know,
in the first place.
It's just the critical detail. It's like you won the lottery once, and now you're out there peddling like lottery tickets as a business strategy. It's like, you're a fucking idiot.
So Linda gets very excited that she can go invisible.
I mean, yeah, fair.
And, fair. She goes into her room and she puts her head in the bottle, and then she takes all her clothes off, saying she's gonna, she's greeting the world as her true form, a spiritual adventurer. And I don't know. I feel like the bottle, it's not discussed, but I feel like the bottle changes her a little bit in the way she acts.
Yeah, like...
Because she definitely was off color in this episode compared to her usual personality in parts.
I get what you mean. It's just none of it was consistent, so it's hard to figure out if it was like that was meant to be there, or if it it might have been in an early draft and then just sort of half of it was left in.
So she gets naked and comes downstairs.
Well, I mean, while she's getting naked, the dimension door opens.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part.
And the guy pokes his head in.
No, that's after. That's after.
Is it?
Yes, I got it written down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she goes down. She goes downstairs first, and Pete is riding the couch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Pete comes in. That's right.
He's watching a riding instructional video, and he's sitting on the couch with a crop, and he's riding the couch. And Faye walks past into the kitchen, and Linda speeds up the tape.
Yeah.
While she's invisible, and Pete goes faster, and then he falls off the couch, gets frustrated, and goes, "I can't even ride a couch." Kicks it, groans in pain, falls on the couch, and hits his head. Meanwhile, Bronson's in the kitchen going through the bin and
looking for smells.
Faye's like, "Can't you wait for dinner?" And he's like, "No." And Linda keeps saying these spiritual puns and stuff like,
Yeah, she's just got these like fucking fortune cookie quotes.
Yeah.
Like she says to like, Pete, like, reveal your true self and people will, love you for that. And then I can't remember
something about your search, and she sticks Bronson's head in the bin.
Yeah, like she says her fucking cookie, phrase to Bronson, but then shoves his face into the bin. And that's a good use of
Bronson's like, "Oh, it smells." And then he goes, "Yes," and runs off. And Faye's like, "That boy is sure." And Linda goes, "Weird?" And Faye's like, "Yeah, weird." And then she kind of looks around and is like, "Oh,
I'm having an insane."
Yeah, and she goes out to Tony and is like, "Tony, something weird's going on, all these things." And Nell comes up and Nell's like, "You just got to tell the kids about the baby, blah, blah, blah." It's like...
Oh, that's... Because this is where she goes back upstairs to...
Yeah, and Nell's like... Because, like... It's like, Nell, mind your own fucking business. Firstly, I'm having a conversation with my husband.
Why are you here, Nell?
Why are you here? And Linda comes out and, like... fucks with Tony's sculpture, like knocks it down and like giggles.
And I see, because that I see as being a bit like weird
Faye's
for
like,
her.
That was weird.
Yeah, because they suspect it's like the baby or something is like making her hear things.
Yeah, so then that's when Linda goes back upstairs.
That's some 1800s medicine, that is.
And this is what I found off color, because she's getting really angry and frustrated she can't find her riding pants, and she's throwing stuff around everywhere. And she finds the pants and puts them on. That's when the door opens.
Yeah, that's right.
And the medieval person comes through, and Linda's like, "Who are you?" And they go, "What?
Where are you?
Where are you?"
Yeah.
Knock, knock. Pete's coming in. Linda's like, "No, don't come in. I'm not dressed." Throws on her clothes, sprays it, and then Pete's like, "What are you doing? Your clothes are backwards." So she's put them on backwards. Anyway, they go off to the riding club, and Pete's there with the horse, and Linda's giving him like a little pep talk about getting out of his misery. And Pete's like, "Oh, thanks for for the care." And she's like, "I was talking to the horse."
Yeah.
Bronson's there with a contraption.
It looks like something that would have been in Videodrome. It has this horrifyingly Cronenbergian blend of like technology and organic material.
Because it's a video camera, and on the front there's
one of the old camcorders with the little flip out like screen kind of thing.
There's a nose that looks kind of like an elephant's trunk, but it's straight,
and it's pulsating.
And then on the back there's a tube which goes to a big fake nose
that's covering Bronson's nose.
It's covering Bronson's nose, and he's just kind of looking around with it. We don't get an introduction for this until a tiny bit later.
Yeah, we just see this fucking thing,
and they're like, "Bronson, what are you doing?" He's like, "It's smell-o-vision. Whatever I see, I smell."
And then he's like smelling horse feces.
Because Gribble rocks up on a dirt bike, and he's like, "Nice horse. My dad's organized a replacement for you.
It's called the Beast."
The Beast. They're like, "What about your horse?" He's like, "This is my training horse. My training vehicle." And the the girls are there and they're like talking up Pete for accepting it and all this stuff.
They're actually perilously close to being legitimately impressed.
Gribble is lazing on his bike and telling this other jockey to take his horse for a ride. And then it's just a close-up of Bronson on the ground with the camera pointed directly in the poop, smelling it, just huffing it. Just a full body shot just of him crouching on the ground.
Just this fucking... Again, it's a camcorder with an elephant snout that, like, pulsates. And it is attached to a tube that loops around and connects to a nose that's on Bronson's nose. It is genuinely weird looking. Grotesque, even.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then, Pete tries to impress the girls and Linda whacks him with a riding crop. And the fucking horse thing didn't turn into anything.
No.
Like, I was expecting him to show up with some, like, fucking monster horse or something. And they kind of suggest that. It's like, here's this big horse. But then it's just a fucking horse. Like, it doesn't...
Later on... it's glossed... It happens later on at the very end when the horses show up at the finish line. And Gribble says, that's not the beast.
Yeah.
And it's like, where did that plot line go?
Yeah.
Because they've obviously given him the wrong horse.
And none of that, zero of that comes up or is mentioned. There's my dad's going to give you a special horse. And you're like, oh, obviously it's going to be some big horse he can't fucking control. No. A regular horse shows up, and then it turns out that wasn't the horse anyway.
Because he's just, the horse shows up, and they're kind of looking up at it, and it's looking down at them, and it's supposed to look really big. But then the next scene is him just on the horse fine.
Yeah.
It's weird. We cut back to school, and Bronson is sniffing his sandwich. The opening shot is literally just him sniffing the sandwich in the lunchbox.
Horrible machine.
And they're all like, "Oh, that stinks!" And
Bronson.
He opens it up, and it's like onions, egg, salmon.
It's curried egg, onion, and sardines.
Sardines, that's it. Yeah.
Which honestly doesn't sound too bad. I mean, I wouldn't use white onion on that because that's just you're just eating plain onion. But if you used a salad onion, and I probably wouldn't use like curried egg. I'd use like maybe egg salad. But,
But yeah,
I mean, sardines is perfectly fine.
Yeah. So they're all like, "Oh, that stinks." Gribble goes past on the shoulders of Rabbit and Tiger.
Yeah,
and they're all just going, "We rule." They're just saying, "We rule" over and over.
I know, like, because they're in AFL gear. And they're both carrying Gribble, and I don't know why, if he actually did something or accomplished something, or if it's just, the perks of being, like, the head bully. But, like, there's a great fucking subtitle that I wrote down where it's just boys in brackets, and then after that, we rule, we rule, we rule, as they just cart him off to the toilet. And then, they're like, they're up to something, because they imply they're up to something, and Linda goes, all right, time for a little bit of, like, stealth.
And so she picks up the perfume bottle and walks off. They're in the locker room, in the bathroom. She comes in, and here's their plan.
They're in their undies, yeah.
They're in their underwear, yeah. They've taken their clothes off. They're about to have a shower, which is funny because I don't think there is any showers in there.
Just splash yourself in the urinal. It's fine. just flush it and stand under there. You'll be all right.
So Gribble's talking about his plan about how he's going to ride at the start. Then they're going to have a jockey swap over, do the hard part, and then swap back near the end.
Yeah, and then, like, Gribble's going to ride his just trail bike.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, Gribbs, you're a genius, blah, blah, blah." And Linda, like, the bottle just floats in.
I know. Like, it's one of those elements where it's just... I wasn't sure where because it felt like the scene was going to be one of those ones where something goes wrong for Linda.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Which it really did look like it was going to.
Because, like, the bottle floats in and, like, one of them just grabs it.
Yeah.
And goes, "Isn't this junk that Linda had?"
Yeah.
And then
the bullies, in a lot of ways, are the smartest about the weird shit.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be like, oh, yeah, something weird's happening. Yeah. It's got something to do with the twists, which it does. And also, like, they're usually pretty cognizant of the weird mystic item that shows up. As opposed to, like, Pete and fucking Bronson, who should be like, why have you got the mad...
Because
like,
Linda is like, "You cheaters, blah, blah." And, like, Gribbs is like, "I can hear a girl." And then just, like, kicks. Misses completely, hits the stall.
Yeah, no, yeah. And then just, like, one of them dives to try and get her, and they wind up in the fucking urinal.
Yeah, Gribbs falls in the urinal, and they're all laughing, and they throw the bottle, and the bottle lands in the clothes.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell what the bottle does.
Yeah,
if the bottle is where she is at all times.
Which doesn't make sense considering it's just her invisible.
I don't...
Yeah.
Anyway, she takes the clothes, runs outside and is like, I've got your clothes, chase me, chase me. She runs outside and throws her clothes around, and all the kids start throwing the clothes, and they're panicking. And the thing I've never understood is they're trying to block their junk, but they're wearing underwear.
Yeah, they got their undies on. I mean, it's more nude than you'd ever want to be at school, and like people would rip on you forever if that happened.
guess,
but also,
but
it's not like we're looking at
No, Snapper comes out and he's like, "This is not a nudist beach."
No, my favorite thing, and I knew it was coming, was the way he pronounced nudist. Because it's not nudist. He went nudist.
Nudist.
Yes. Nudist. And I did love that. I was expecting the like received pronunciation of nudist.
He tells them to, go put on some clothes before, I can't remember what he says, but the way he turns around.
Before I get an erection.
The way he turns around, he pauses for a second, and it is definitely, I'm putting that in the spank bank. That's what that was. So it's. Yeah, so Linda's talking to Bronson and Pete and about how they're going to cheat and all that, and they're like, "Oh, what are we going to do?" And Linda's like, "Well, has a plan," and she shows off the invisibility spray, and they're all like, "Oh!"
And then she says that like they need Anthony, the genius kid,
and Bronson's camera. We go to the race, and Gribble's announcing the race, and the competitors and all that. And Nell comes up and steals the thing, and she's like, that guy was a crook, just like you now, and all this stuff. And
Dr. Wiley was a crook.
Dr. Light is the true heir. So we see that they've actually planted a camera on Gribble's horse, just looking up to where he is riding, that they can see on Bronson's, because Anthony's got this little satellite thing. Yeah. Somehow.
Which is actually a strangely solid way of explaining for like 2001 technology how, because now you just be like, oh yeah, there's a camera on
Pete's on the horse. Linda's also on the horse.
Yeah. Which isn't the best way of cheating considering you're doubling the weight.
Yeah.
That was one of the little things I was like, all right, you're going to have fucking Anthony there with a goddamn, radar dish so he can fucking get 2001 Wi-Fi to work. But like, you're not going to address the fact that now like this horse is carrying two people, which my limited understanding of horse racing is like, that's kind of a thing.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why like jockeys are midgets, because you need the lightest human you can ever find.
So the race begins, off they go. And, Linda and Pete take the coaster out. Gribbs goes inland. Gribbs is having trouble, as we see through the camera, with his horse. He's also making jokes about Pete to himself, which is really funny. Because
he's workshopping his Pete burns.
Yeah, because he's like, what sort of loser you have to be to come second at a 2-horse race? That's Pete.
Yeah.
And he's like really jazzing himself
up.
Gotta
fucking bust that one out at the finish line. What sort of loser? You could just see him. He's just like, I've got a line for this.
His horse stops and starts eating grass. He doesn't know how to make it go. He's like, where's the clutch or the accelerator? And then he slaps it and off it goes, and he's terrified. Linda and Pete are riding and talking, and Pete's like, there's a great line where Pete's like, Linda, she goes, yeah. He goes, if you're invisible, how come I can't see your clothes? And she goes, I'm not wearing any clothes. And Pete screams. And that is the appropriate response to that. Because, like, if you're on a horse riding with someone, you are close to them.
Yeah.
You are up close to them.
No, like, I wrote, Pete realizes he's rubbing up against his naked sister and freaks out.
Yeah.
Because, like, riding on a horse like that is, like, so automatically sexual, they had to make up a new rule for women to ride side saddle. Because it was just illegal to watch a woman's hips move that way. I'm not even joking.
No, I know. Like,
it was like you just look at a woman ride a horse once, and people just like, well, we can't have that.
Grib rides up, and he stops. The jockey's there with his trail bike. They swap, and off he goes. And it kind of just keeps showing back.
Yeah,
and forth
after this,
like
until the end, it's just
shots.
like, here's race footage.
If they get swapped back just before the end, and Linda's like, I feel like Lady Godiva riding naked through the streets of Paris. And Tony's concerned. He's like, why isn't Linda here? Do you think it's because, like, the baby? And Bronson's like, it's not about the baby. And he's like, they're like, He's like, I thought you didn't know. They,
both horses come around the corner.
Come around the corner, and that's when Gribble's like, "That's not the beast," which was very confusing.
I know, like it's such a, it's Effort.
Because also, he would have seen the horse at the start of the race.
Yeah. You were there at the start of the race.
Why didn't he remark then? Why wasn't it, hey, that's not the beast, something's gone wrong?
Yeah. So we could at least have slightly more coherent, meaningless plot point that didn't actually do anything. Somewhere there's some demon horse just fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And, like, we never got to meet it.
I want to see that.
Yeah, because that was what I was expecting. All right, they're going to have, like, a Clydesdale or,
It's huge.
Yeah, like a fucking Clydesdale. Have you ever seen some of those fucking things?
Oh, they're insane.
I know, you're just like, oh, look at the fucking just giant fucking horse. There was I think it was the biggest one. It was called Boston Supreme, which I do love.
If you saw a horse like that back in the day before technology or anything, you'd worship that horse. That'd be
pretty
that'd
much,
be a god.
Like,
pray to the horse god.
I do love that, like, it's just inhuman. It's like, look at the biggest thing. Fuck yeah.
My favorite trope
delighted.
in video games is when you get one enemy and then later on you meet an enemy that's just a bigger version of that enemy. And I love that in life too. Because it's like horse, big horse,
Yeah.
big horse.
Okay, I've seen horse. It's like, there's big horse. It's like, oh, fuck yeah. I mean, if we found an island somewhere that, like, had horses that were just even bigger, that would be the biggest day.
Yeah.
It'd be like, this is amazing.
cool.
We have biggest horse.
So they're neck and neck. Pete manages to push in through the lead, and I love it because everyone's screaming, "Go, go!" and Bronson's screaming, "Go, Linda!" and Tony looks at him really weird, and then goes, and then starts saying, "Go, Linda!" as well, which was very funny. They cross the line, and as they cross the line, the Gribbles both go, "No, loser!" at their son, and that is. God damn.
It's such a, that's such a great look into the life of a boy.
And then they realize where they are and what they're doing, so they suddenly try to put on a happy face. And
public face. I'm kind of surprised they didn't call the episode Lady Go Linda, really. That was another option there for 2001.
And so, Pete wins, Gribble's annoyed, he comes up to him and he's like, what happened, How did the jockey take the wrong path? And he's like, he must have. No, Pete cheated. And Gribble gets so upset. He goes, he cheated? Only we can cheat.
Only we're allowed to cheat.
He comes up and he goes, you are disqualified. You cheated. And Bronson goes, I don't know about that. If I show the judges this. And he shows them the camera. And it shows the jockey switching, which is, I don't understand, because the camera placement was on the horse looking up, and now it is.
I know, yeah. Now
the horse.
Now it's just the shot from the episode, but black and white.
And it's off the horse.
Yeah,
it's just floating there.
I know.
Out of the camera.
And also, if you had a way to prove that Gribble was cheating, you didn't need to do anything else.
No,
because that's it.
That's it.
Again, because this is really another floating plot point. Because Gribble was just going to accuse Pete of cheating with zero proof. So it was like, all right, that would go nowhere. You don't need to have Linda really ride the horse if you can just prove that fucking Gribble cheated. Because it doesn't matter if you come second. Gribble cheated. And then be 2 hours later. Fuck you.
Gribble goes, no, give me that, and he goes to reach for it, but stumbles and lands face down in horse shit. And slowly raises his face.
He's in there for a long time.
And Nell is like, lunch isn't ready yet. And he just, he raises his face, and he kind of he's moving his mouth and his lips, and I'm like, I wouldn't. There's tongue, and I'm like, I would not be doing that with that close to your mouth.
There's an awful lot of tongue movement for a face in feces.
Pete starts, all the girls hug him and you did so great, Pete. And he starts talking up. He's like, it felt when I was out there, I wasn't alone. The spirit of Roy Wright was there with me. He's the true hero. I've proved it. And then he leans on the bottle and he's like, no. And she appears naked on the horse.
Yeah. So now the visible component of Linda is back out. And it's just
Tony's like, Linda?
Yeah.
And she's like, Churn. And it's like,
fucking underage girl.
What are you doing?
Boob.
And she goes, I'm trying not to show my true self.
Yeah, it just rides off.
And rides off. And that's the end of the episode.
It really is that thing where if you can come up with kind of a pun, the people would just give you a show.
Yeah.
In the States, you'd get a whole sitcom off of that.
Oh God, yeah.
If you had one shitty 5-minute stand-up set and a pun, if it was 1985, congratulations, bucko. You've got a 6-figure salary. A TV series will go 5 years.
Was Jerry Seinfeld a comedian before the TV show?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like, that in particular, that show would have set off a lot of comedians just getting shows.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
It 100% did. Like, I mean, it was definitely before that. And again, the first season of Seinfeld wasn't like a hit. Like, it was a little slower to take off than people would think. But yeah, no, that was literally like from, late 80s to at least, probably around the late 90s. Just if you were a shitty comedian and you had some fucking vague pun or a face, they gave you a sitcom. Fucking Bill Burr had a shitty sitcom that went for like one season. Yeah.
Did Carrot Top get one?
I don't know.
I'm Googling this. I need to know.
But like, no, seriously, like you could like, there is an absurdly long list of like 1 and 2 season shitty fucking sitcoms. And Australia got loads of them because Australia had to buy American media in these packets. So if you wanted like the hit new thing, you bought the hit new thing, but then you also got like several duds. And that was just, then Channel 9 would play the duds at like midnight and I'd watch it because I was smoking weed and bored. And fuck, man, there were a lot. Like there were a lot of these shitty fucking shows. Okay. Actually, I'm curious. I'm going to have to go through and have a look. Because I bet it's an absurdly long list. Because everyone would have just been, we need like Seinfeld 2. Just get a stand-up comedian. Doesn't matter if they're funny or not. Just get a fucking show together. Just he's gonna have a wife or some shit, and then off you go to the fucking races. And I think it really only worked again with like fucking Ray Romano for reasons that I'll never really be able to explain.
That show was so popular.
It really was. Like hugely popular.
And I don't know why.
Neither do
like,
I.
It definitely has its moments. Like it's not an unfunny show at times.
But they were way funnier. Again, like there were other just stand-up dude wife sitcoms.
And I wonder if it's because Ray is such a loathable person. Because like he is. It's like he's like, look at my life. Look, I've got a beautiful wife. I've got kids. I've got a house. But my mother and dad live across the street from me. Because he's a sports writer. And like nearly every single person he meets is like, I'd kill to have your job.
Yeah,
and he's
you
like,
fucking write about sports.
And he's like, it's not that great. And it's like, what do you mean?
That was back when you could like be rich off of like just, oh yeah, I write about some crap and it's in a newspaper.
Yeah.
Because that's the only place shit can go and you got to pay for it. So
yeah.
You could just be like a boob and congratulations, there's your career.
The guy who played the father and mother were very funny.
Oh yeah, no.
They were really good. I can't remember his name. He died.
Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle.
Yeah, he was Frankenstein and Young Frankenstein.
Yes,
he was the monster in Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, but yeah, lots of sitcoms.
No, like again, I've seen shitloads of them because they were on at midnight and I was awake, and it was just you had 5 channels, and at that hour, sometimes SBS would be something porno, but other times it'd be like news from Macedonia, and it's like, all right, well, this isn't interesting.
I do love what fascinates me is sitcoms that seemingly can do no wrong. It feels like these are gonna make it. These are gonna be perfect in utterly every way. Then always main actor leaves or something happens, gets replaced by someone, goes down the toilet.
Yeah.
Because like that 70s show, Topher Grace, left. Awful.
And then they
replaced him with Ashton Kutcher. Oh wait,
Well,
no,
no,
Ashton Kutcher was around the show. They replaced him with who was it?
No, because it was like this weird. He's like the brother of the guy that took over for Conan O'Brien on Late Night.
Yeah.
Like he's the brother of the guy that took over for Conan O'Brien on Late Night. So he was just too much like Eric, but not Eric.
Yeah. And then we had 2.5 Men, and Charlie Sheen
is Charlie Sheen
had his
and the
problems.
kid joined some weird splinter group of the fucking Seventh Day
That's where I got
Adventists.
confused because they replaced Charlie Sheen and that with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, he got replaced by Ashton Kutcher, and I don't even know what the fuck was going on there. And I feel sorry for the third guy in that.
Yeah, because he was on cloud 9. He was like, I have a good show,
Yeah, no, he finally, because he'd been in Hollywood since like fucking forever. Like he was in like 16 Candles with like Molly Ringwald and shit. Like so he's got the #1 fucking like money. Like I mean,
it was huge.
Yeah, money. Like imagine getting millions of dollars per episode for shit, and that's before even the residuals. Like you get that fucking shit where it gets like just played all the time, and you just like sit back. Like, the Friends cast still get like 20 million a fucking year from Friends reruns, man. Imagine that. Imagine the shit you would do. Like, I gotta get another job. No, you fucking don't. Like, one thing, those motherfuckers must love acting. Because fucking,
It doesn't matter if you fail or succeed, because you have the bank. It's there.
Yeah, like, that's what I'd just be like, yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna have my own show. I gotta do my own fucking Friends spin-off.
Because, we laugh at Joey for the Joey show, but, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That dude's career is heartbreaking.
No, it got good, though.
It did?
Yeah, he started doing, like, shit in the UK where he was kind of playing
that's
a
nice.
joke version of himself. And, yeah, after that, it was like, oh, no, yeah, you can't actually act
They
when
tried to make him an action hero.
Yeah, that didn't quite work
didn't
either.
work.
But no, like, him being, like, him doing that, like, real solid, like, British comedy was really fucking good, actually.
That's so
Yeah, I can't remember the
interesting.
name of it. It's about, like, British, like, agents working with an American actor.
Oh, okay.
And it's just kind of like a fictionalized version of him being a nut. And he did a real good job with it. But again, like, why would you bother? Like, I fucking wouldn't.
No.
I'm getting $20 million a year for doing nothing. Oh, okay, great. Watch me do the most nothing you've ever seen a human being do. Like, fuck you. I'm going to build a fucking giant model railway and I didn't even like those. I'm going nuts.
Don't interrupt me when I'm playing with my train, Helen.
The covered bridge. So this episode wasn't really what I'd consider incredibly good, but it's one of those ones where if you don't pay close attention, it works. If you look at it for too long, it doesn't work. If you're desperate to see a teenage girl's boob, okay.
It just...
You're going to get on a list, but
It's
this episode's there for you. Someone's worn out the replay on this one.
very disjointed.
It feels like the script got changed 3 times and they just didn't bother really do an extra fucking run on it. They're just like, let's just take this bit out.
There are occasionally episodes where you feel, 20 minutes was not enough for any of this. And because this felt like 4 stories happening at once.
Well, it's just the Beast. That wasn't a thing. It didn't go anywhere.
No.
So there's bits in the script, there's just dialogue left from like an earlier draft that wasn't actually connected to the fucking end result. It's like, just go over it again for 5 seconds. It can't take that long. Come on. I'll do it. But I mean, look, if you want to see Gribble, like,
In horse poop.
yeah, lick feces, like he's trying not to let everyone know this is just entirely his kink, then Linda Godiva is a solid episode for you. You fucking pervert. You filthy fucking pervert. Well, Amber, now we have the part that I know you love. I have to ask you, have you ever felt like this? Have you ever been involved in a race? Ever been naked in public / the open? Or just generally naked maybe somewhere where you aren't meant to be? Ever ridden a horse? Have you ever been involved in a race?
What was the first one again?
Ever been involved in a race?
That was the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like...
Drag racing?
School race? Like cross country, that sort of stuff.
The cross country is such a weird Australian ritual.
It's awful.
It's
like, look at all this buttfuck awful hills and land and forest we have. Now run through it.
I know, because some schools have enough space to just make it so you gallop around the oval or some shit. The one at Indooroopilly went fucking off road. And the thing about Indooroopilly is it's really hilly. It is bonkers. And so there are parts where they're sending the school's few decent athletes to have to sort of run really steeply downhill, which is, by all reports, fucking challenging. Because it is just abnormal.
Yeah.
And you're trying to not roll your ankle or explode your knee while still moving quickly.
Yeah, because ours started on the oval, and then you went into the bush.
Just everybody sprint into the bush.
Yeah, absolutely. And, around all this mountain rocky area and then come back. And I was like, that's awful.
They should just chuck some obstacle course shit in there. I think make it a bit more fun.
But yeah, I think apart from that racing games and stuff, I've never
You ever played a racing game to any degree of quasi seriously?
I won a Mario Kart tournament the other week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did it. We had a team tournament. It was 24 people, and we were split into teams.
Oh, is that
And
fucking Mario Kart World?
Yeah, our team won.
Just completely ruined the game for
Our
me.
team won.
Nice.
One person on our team happened to be like a person who played in like. Remember when they had like the Mario Kart 8, like in the last few years they had like those online entry races you could win, like those tournaments. Yeah. This person went to the finals. Huh. Was on our team. They came first ringer, in baby. Like 22 out of like the 24 races.
That's funny.
It was their performance was stellar. We were all just like, carry us. But no, we had the strats because it's a team tournament, you know. So we were all communicating. We were in voice call. So it was like, you know, I've got lightning. Has anyone got
a mushroom or something like a star?
A star, you know. And it's like, no, I have a dodge. Use it. So it's like, I was like, I'm in first, or like, and I'm like, I'm in second. I'm fucking bagging for you.
Yeah,
you know?
cool. Like, yeah.
It was really quite
running interference.
It was really quite fun.
That's funny.
And there was that. Remember when we went to Coffs Harbour? We played in a Mario Kart.
Oh, that's right.
And I won like a box set of Samurai Pizza Cats, and you won the Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat tournaments.
Yeah, that was fun because it was like Street Fighter 2 on the SNES.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was Mortal Kombat. It was Killer Instinct on the SNES.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember I was like, you fools, because I told them I won't participate because I said like, it's not fair.
No, play.
And I remember just going, no, I'm serious. Like, it's not fair. I still remember combos.
Yeah.
Like, and no one here, I guarantee you, no one else here has played fucking. And yeah, then I just like loaded up TJ Combo.
Yeah.
Whose like forward roll mid punch thing is just, it's irrational. Because it's like, say it's projectile invulnerable. It goes under most normals, and it's safe on block. So you just do it without thinking. You'll usually get a combo starter. And then like, there's just people who are like, yay, video games. And they're dealing with like, hello, I'm a dick. Hey, I'm an adult. I'm an adult who's played this game a lot. I'm an adult who fucking played this game and remembers shit. I'm going to do the neck break fatality to all of you.
Yeah.
And that's just, I'm gonna spoil it. It's like you at Pokemon gatherings. It's like, hey, hello, I'm an adult.
Hello, small child. Yeah. I'm going to make you cry.
I earned a Game Boy. I'm going to make you cry. And I'll smile while you're crying. Those two things won't be directly related, but you won't understand that. Have you ever been naked in public or the open?
Ooh. I gotta think about that one. I don't think so. Modest enough generally to keep my clothes on.
Yeah,
especially when drinking. Like, some people just get like tagged and then they're just like, woo! No,
I know someone who's like that. Like, there's a certain level of drunk, and it's really drunk, but then they just become like a toddler. And it's just, their hands just start ripping at clothes.
Yeah, and they throw it down angrily. Yeah. It's like, yeah, clothes are off.
And it's like, what? And just the clothes have to come off, and it is the funniest fucking
I never
thing.
Got there.
No, yeah, I wasn't like a clothes, must get clothes off me.
I hated my body. I don't want other people to see it.
Yeah. Like, there have been times where I've been like, had to be dragged naked into a shower to like hose off the vomit, but like, I don't remember that, so,
yeah.
Oh well. These are just, maybe that happened, maybe it didn't. Who's to say?
Yeah.
All of that occurred before omnipresent camera phones.
Didn't exist.
So, yeah. You
can't prove shit.
No, you can't prove it. It is lost to the mists of time. So, go fuck yourselves. I do feel sorry for the Weans about that one, Because, like, yeah, maybe that happened.
Because the moment you do anything weird, someone's going to go, just with that vacant expression slowly raising their phone.
Yeah, no one these days, anywhere on Earth, is getting dragged naked into a shower at a party without someone like...
Someone's filming that.
Yeah, without a fucking camera phone popping up. It's like, oh yeah, now you're like the fourth most remixed thing on TikTok. It's like, what? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just going to commit suicide then. God, if I... Last generation to, like, exist before that. Dodge that fucking bullet. Whew!
Yeah, because, like, camera phones started coming in, like, when I started drinking and stuff, but they were so bad
they were fucking terrible.
that
The first camera phone I had was in 2004, and then like I camera phone in fucking quotes.
It would take like 140 by like 80. Yeah. And it would take in a file format that has lost the time.
Yeah.
So that even if you have it and you convert it, it's going to just be pixels. Yeah. You won't see anything.
It may as well be the Game Boy camera.
Yeah.
Just in color. Yeah. Game Boy Color camera.
Whoa.
There's an idea for you, Nintendo. You know, you can't let people have cameras because then it's just dicks. But if you give people Game Boy Color cameras, then you'd be like, is that a dick? And you'll just never really be sure. And that kind of takes the fun out of, you know, what I assume to be the fun of showing people your dick. Because people can't tell it's your dick, then what's the point? You know, no one's like, haha, I'm like, what's that?
Oh.
Yeah.
The whole thing's ruined.
I mean, I'd do it if I, like, you know, if you stretch, like, a scrotum up over the dick and, like, I don't know, like, use, like stripper tape to hold it there. So it's just like, you know, just leap up and go, behold! And then people are like, what the fuck? Because it'd just be this strange, hairy flesh mound. You know? And, like, that would haunt people.
It's already haunting me.
Behold the mound! What? Ever ridden a horse?
No.
I have a couple of times. Like, it's funny because my granddad owned horses. So there was, like, literally, like, a stable, like, at the bottom of the backyard. But, like, I don't know, one of the horses, like, Elizabeth was, like, his horse. And it was, like, quite old by the time, like, you know, I was around. So it was just, like, riding it just wasn't an option. And then, it, like, I had one foal once. And the foal was just a dick. Like, it tried to bite people. Like, it just pathologically hated Dad. And like one
animals
time,
that just hate someone for no reason.
Yeah.
Like just on sight. They've never met them before. Nope. They're just like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah. My soul hates yours.
Your aura pisses me off.
Just you. Not any of these other people around here. You. And like, because like we were in the paddock one time, just, you know, because there was a creek down the very bottom of the hill. Like it was a big fucking thing. And like, you know, it was back when Launton was all like, you know, rural still. And so you'd walk down to the creek and you'd look at the creek and go, oh, look at that, you know. You could meet a fucking, you know, lizard and a platypus and shit. And then one time the horse just came down and was like, oh, I'm just going to try to stomp on Dad. And it's where I learned, it's like, it's surprisingly easy not to win exactly a fight with a horse, but to like, just kind of like deal with it. Because if you break off a bit of tree, right, that has like, you know, a good amount of like, you know, a leafy bit, you don't want a stick. You want like a portion of tree. Because if you just go and like a leafy bit of tree in a horse's face, it has no answer for that. It doesn't know what's happening. It can't see properly. It'll like rear up a little bit, but like tree in face just completely beats horses. You know? And then you gotta like fucking just slowly walk back up the fucking paddock, like tree facing a fucking horse so it doesn't like step on your little brother. That was funny though. It was scary at first. Because it's like, you know, you're a little kid. It's like, it's a fucking horse. You know, it is large. And it has like fucking metal feet. And that's as close as, you know, you'll get to dealing with like a whomp as a living human being. You know, outside of, I don't know, if the fucking Super Mario theme park ever goes feral or something. Just dressed as a thwomp running around trying to sit on people.
That would be funny.
Yeah, like I do respect the horse riding, like because it's like one of those things where that you know, like you can crash a vehicle, but like at no point is my fucking scooter gonna go, I don't want you on my back anymore. Whereas a horse can really do that.
Yeah.
A horse can come to a conclusion about you.
I don't want my vehicle to be sentient.
Yeah, like imagine if your car was just like, hey, fuck you, and you were just out of the car then. You know, fucking messaging me, guy, yeah, you know, can't record today. The car's in a mood. I got to give it an apple. Give my fucking car an apple. All right. Now we got to do that, the fun part.
Yay.
Yep. Got some reader answers. I just want to go to the mobile site, Yahoo. I'm not fucking downloading your fucking app.
You just download an app.
No!
My children are dying.
Like, I'm not down. There's a lot of apps I'm not downloading. The Yahoo app is fucking up there. Like, the not downloading this stupid bullshit app. Like, my housemate's family are doing a Secret Santa thing or something this year for Christmas, and, like, apparently that involves an app. Like, they're like, okay, you got to sign up for this app to do the Secret Santa. I was like, I swear to fucking Christ, if a family member told me to sign up for an app to do secrets or something like that, I would disown them. I mean, like, I am not, you know.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm putting you in a trolley and rolling you down a hill. Good day to you both. I hope you're both having a truly great day, and I am sorry this is a bit long. That's just, this person wants our day to be too good, and I'm suspicious already. I have indeed felt like this, for I have done a great big clean. After we lost my grandfather to brain cancer, we had to clean out his brain, his property, which was a large farm he and my grandmother had retired to. Grandpa had grown up with nothing to his name, so he developed the strategy of, I might need it later, which when combined with hyperfixations I blame on undiagnosed autism, means that he had a great deal of stuff in the main farmhouse, the full shop, the barn, and the animal shelters on the property. I like that because there was a show called American Pickers, which was about I love that shit. Like, that picking is heroin for me.
Picking is so good.
Yeah. So, like, if it was even remotely possible, I would have absolutely, like, I'd have just gone through this like a horny spider.
Absolutely,
Like, I just love that shit. I will not list the nightmares we found in some of the buildings, but here is a list of some of the best items. 4 closets stuffed with paper grocery store bags, because I might need them later. He said this every time I took him shopping, and he took a few extra bags. Half of one of his teeth that had been busted out by a cutting board falling on him when he tried to pull it down. It was in an envelope labeled with time, date, and location of extraction. See, yeah, this is like, the joke goes around a bit, but this is like, you know, people say that autism didn't exist back in my day, and it's like, well, it wasn't, like, it didn't have a name. But, like, you know, the ocean's there before you got a word for it. No one keeping a bit of broken tooth in an envelope with the date and the time when it came out yeah, that face you're pulling. Like, the face we're all pulling, let's face it. Time and date, like, I understand, put it in milk and you can maybe get it back in your face. No normal human being is putting it in an envelope with, like, okay, 3rd of May.
No.
It was cloudy outside, the cutting board hit my tooth.
There are certain levels of autism we have come to accept. I keep a spreadsheet on my Dead by Daylight add-ons about pudding.
It's funny because, like, you know, the ADHD is often lumped in with the autism, but it is different.
It is.
And so, like, it's just one of those things whenever you just, like, you hear the autistic spectrum spark up about what it's doing today, and you're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sit for, like, 30 minutes and just have, like, the theme to Get Smart going through my head. But, like, like, and that literally half an hour.
Audio cues are the worst, especially when you're, like, trying to sleep and you feel like you've got quiet. You're like, okay,
No,
I'm
no
nice,
such thing as quiet.
I'm rested and my body's feeling relaxed. Then just pops in. As you said, Get Smart theme, something like that. Something that's just like that earworm. Or it's like one bit of a song and it just repeats
one bit, because I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Over and over again.
Yeah, I don't like the song even.
No.
It's just going.
It's just that lyric.
One thing that really fucked me up, like, and it's a testament not to the necessarily the efficacy, but the way that, like, ad jingles stick in your head. Because there was that time when, like, the WebM format had just gotten developed.
Yeah.
And so, like, there was just a website called something WebMs.
Yeah.
And it was just, you just click on something and there was no context. There was no title. There was nothing in the fucking slug or anything like that to give you a clue. You just click on it and something would happen. And sometimes it would be 2 seconds. Sometimes it would be 2 minutes, but something would happen. And there was one that a friend sent me, and it's just this nice, it was kind of a McMansion door, you know, one of those white things with, like, too many fucking windows and shit.
Yeah.
And the door opens and this nice black lady sticks her head out and goes, oh, hi, come on in. And then she steps out and has, like, just the biggest dick. And I mean, like, to the knee. And she just starts swinging it around and then just goes, bigdickbitch.com, bigdickbitch.com.
Yeah.
And I have that jingle stuck in my head.
That's
and I
fair.
just bigdickbitch.com, which I don't think ever went anywhere. Like, I'm pretty sure I checked Big Dick Bitch. I was like, I got to know about this. But, like, yeah, it's just, but, like, she's so, like, it's such a folksy, You know?
Yeah.
Like, way that she opens the door is like, yeah, come on in, grab a plate. But instead, it's bigdickbitch.com. And it's just...
Jones barbecue with whip.
yeah, no, it's like that. But just... And then just hypnotically large wiener just going...
Yeah.
that, like, syncs up with the fucking jingle. So this guy's grandpa kept teeth. My mother's pet guinea pigs from when she was a child. Oh, fuck me. Grandpa had preserved them in case my mother or one of the grandkids wanted to dissect the animal to learn how they worked.
Excuse me?
They had died when my mother was under 10. We found them when she was 54.
Because... that's thrown me. That has thrown me. In case we wanted to dissect them to see how they worked. That should not be a sentence.
We're descending into the spectrum. We're past the area. We're past the area you're familiar with. You're like looking through maps going, I don't recognize this.
God. Oh.
Like, I'm desperately looking around for a furry to tell me what's going on.
Fuck me.
The corpse of a coyote that he had attached a label to, which according to his notes, he had collected to see if there was a potential outbreak that was affecting the local population, as he had found it dead by the scientist by the side of the road. A scientist to the end. 5. Pictures of women from assembled ads he kept in a folder under his mattress. They were not swimwear or underwear ads, but women in business casual attire, which confused us. However, as these women tended to be middle-aged or older, I thought it was less creepy than him collecting pictures of women in their early 20s when he was in his 70s.
No.
I have also felt the earth move a couple of times. The weirdest was when I gave myself a concussion in high school. I slipped on a friend's bag while running and slid a few feet down the hole fast enough to impact a wall. My knee went fully through the embedded into the wall, causing my head to slam and bounce. My buddy helped me up, and together we hobbled to the nurse's office. The leg that had gone through the wall could not fully bear my weight, so my addled brain kept telling me that the world was shifting. Trying to deal with the world swimming and moving about, I sat in the nurse's office for a bit while my friend tried to find her, but being as this was an American school, she served all the schools in the area, so I had to wait for her to arrive. Before I was seen by the medical professionals, I was collected and brought to an official's office. She pulled up my record and started interrogating me on why I damaged school property, using my poor grades as a reason to suspect me. Grades caused by the fact that at this time American schools treated learning disabilities by telling us to stop being lazy cunts and learn better, and be glad that they couldn't hit us. Sorry, got a bit on my bullshit there. So I answered her questions as best I could as the world spun, and eventually I was told that I was fine and to take some aspirin for my leg. For telling someone something big, I had the fun of telling my mother that I broke her ceiling and destroyed a couple of $100 of furniture and family keepsakes. One day, I had been tasked with getting the holiday decorations out of the attic. I thought the attic floor was stable. It was not. It was drywall. So I fell through it seconds after climbing onto it, and then through a glass table under the attic, and then had the plastic tub of decorations hit me in the chest as it too fell through the ceiling. My buddy, funnily enough, the same friend who had helped me after I concussed myself earlier, helped me to the kitchen and administered first aid. That incident was maybe a year before this one. Anyway, thanks. I thankfully hadn't been cut by the glass, just very bruised. Mum later called to ask about my progress, and I told her I had destroyed a bunch of stuff, and she demanded to know how, and that she was super disappointed in me. As I told her the story, she described wanting to kill me for scaring her like that and having a fierce desire to be taking care of her kid. She raced home to find my friend holding ice packs to my bruised face with dinner cooking. To this day, she claims to still feel bad for lecturing me before knowing the full situation. That is mostly my fault for how I told her. I may have been out to destroy myself as a kid, but I clearly made sure to surround myself with good folks. May you two have a fantastic rest of your day, and remember that you're good beings who deserve good things in your life. Warmest regards, Gnome Pickles. Hello, Amber and Gabe. It is your friendly neighborhood deck child.
Hello, deck child.
Mason here. And I have some answers to your questions. Have you ever been stuck with a big clean? Yes, when I was younger, I was part of my local 4-H club. Thinking of it as the gender-neutral Boy Scouts. Yeah, no, that's the club that, like, Skinner thinks the kids go to. So the fact that you were an actual member of the 4-H club is incredibly funny. There's nobody here at the 4-H club either. Am I so out of touch?
The 4-H club. Christ, okay.
Yeah, look that up. What are the 4-H's?
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious now. And community service we involved picking up trash on a stretch of highway. On one of these cleaning expeditions, my father found a used crack pipe. His cop senses must have kicked in, and he immediately pocketed it. I still don't know where he put it, and may have used it to plant evidence on some poor soul.
Emphasizes the 4 core values represented by its name: head, heart, hands, and health.
Okay.
It's like administrated by the National Institute of Food and Agriculture.
Huh.
I guess they're like beef farmers.
I get like air conditioning repair cult vibes from like Community from that. All right. Have you ever felt the ground move? Living in rural northern Virginia, you don't expect earthquakes, but one summer we had an earthquake that I could feel. Thankfully, it was short and nothing broke. Have you ever had to tell someone something big? I grew up in a conservative, extremely Christian household, and as I got old, the fake sky god became less and less real to me. My parents were going to force me to do a church mission trip, and I had enough and looked at them straight in the eyes and said, I am done with this shit, and I have been an atheist for a while. They had the inkling of that for a long time and understood, but I still feel like they look down on me because I do not follow a fiction book that they get their morals from. Hope both you enjoyed the letter. It is always fun to interact with Gabe on stream, and Amber continues to prove my point that trans YouTubers make the best content. No,
Thank you.
Come back. Dear Gabriel Summer and Amber Chan, the cackling voices inhabiting my subconscious have once again urged me to pay tribute with words and tears. Have you ever been struck with a big clean? Back in my undergraduate days, I worked as an assistant at a plant biology lab. It was a pretty good gig, despite being unpaid labor. Oddly enough, the clearest memory I have of the experience, aside from one I am about to share, is how my boss, the lab manager, liked to practice martial arts kata in the lab and spent most of his downtime reading webcomics about teenage boys being turned into teenage girls.
I see.
Transition kata, go! Yeah! Anyhow, one fine day, a graduate student went to retrieve a jug of glacial acetic acid from the acid shelf. Unlike weird Irish hill clans, it's not weird for us to have one. No, like, there are locations where I think, you're at a lab and there's an acid shelf.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Just an acid shelf in the shed, in the fucking, Resident Evil compound that you dwell in the Scottish Highlands. God, oh fucking mighty. It's amazing some of these people are alive, to be honest.
They got reanimated by the lab.
Yeah, the lab keeps you alive. For those listeners unaware, acetic acid is essentially vinegar. And glacial acetic acid is water-free acetic acid, meaning it is literally the most concentrated vinegar possible. Ooh, I want to dip my chips in it. Yeah, I actually have read about this as a weird side effect of like, it is like the only substance that a human can like safely consume. Like safely is like on the edge there. That like doesn't have water in it somewhere. Because everything else has got some kind of water content to it. Whereas like this is a liquid we can put in our mouth and our tummy that is probably not going to be pleasant, but isn't just like fucking hostile to life. White vinegar, for comparison, is only 10% acetic acid by volume. I doubt even Gabriel would enjoy drinking this stuff. No, but I would put my chips in it. You can probably see where this is going. I heard a loud crack as a jug broke and spilled its vile contents onto the floor. Almost immediately, the lab was filled with sharp, acrid stench so eye-wateringly bad. My mouth is watering. I'm literally just like, ooh, vinegar. Everyone started sprinkling the floor with neutralizing base while occasionally stepping out into the hall for fresh air.
Base! Base!
Someone pushing like a big red button that says base alarm. Call the base! Base!
Base! Base! Just throwing it.
Why do you all do? I don't know. We just saw one person shouting bass while doing it once, and we just figured that was how you have to do it.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about it. Bass! Fuck, that got me. We had to drag some big fans out of storage to get the smell out. Neighboring labs complained about the stink even with their doors shut. Could have been worse, I suppose. Acetic acid is technically a weak acid. Hydrochloric or sulfuric would have been far worse, and afterwards the lab floor was the cleanest it's ever been. Have you ever felt the earth move? No, I haven't, but this isn't exactly the non-answer you rightfully loathe. After earning my doctorate, I spent 2 years in exile working as a postdoc researcher in San Francisco. I had an utterly miserable time. Not only do I hate big cities, but the lab was a festering hate sink of resentment and tension, to the point that one of the other researchers, who had a PhD, joined the army rather than stay there. But I digress. San Francisco being San Francisco, a number of minor earthquakes occurred during my time there. Some were intense enough to rattle shells, make people unused to them freak out. Not me. I slept through every one of them without even noticing, so no, I did not feel the earth move. Keep up the good work. Tens of very strange people will rely on your unique form of abuse and degradation to get them through the day. Greetings, fellow inmates. Have you ever been stuck with a big clean? Clearing out my grandparents' house after their death was a multi-week saga. Ugh. A normal human will accumulate an astonishing amount of random crap over the course of a lifetime. But while they weren't strictly hoarders in the filth sense, they grew up during the Great Depression, which taught them that they needed to hang on to every bit of junk that came their way just in case they might need it later. And, of course, every now and again, some doohickey that they'd held onto for 30 years would, in fact, prove to be useful and thus reinforce this belief.
I hate it because it is that exact reason. You're like, I'll never use any of this shit. Yeah. But then one day, if you throw it out and you come and you're like, I could have used that exact thing right now.
It breaks your brain.
I'm never throwing anything out ever again.
Oh, yeah, no. It's why I have, a thing of bits of wood.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt the earth move? According to the Geological Survey, minor earthquakes happen in California approximately every 3 seconds, but ones you can actually feel, about 3.0 and above, happen maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. One such occurrence that sticks out to me. I was in an IKEA helping my sister schlep some furniture when the store started shaking a bit.
Excuse
and you
me?
could really
What
tell.
does schlep mean?
I think it's Yiddish for drag or haul.
All right, keep going.
Most of us were just like, whatever, but a fair few were freaking out, and one woman was actually sobbing.
You're right, haul or carry.
Yeah, look at that. Maybe she had something else going on that day, and this was just the final straw. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe you're just standing in an IKEA, and there's an earthquake, and you're just I'm just tired of living.
I'm done.
Yeah. I don't want to be shook to death in an IKEA.
Perfectly fair.
Yeah, I'm going to have a Newman fall on me. Have I ever had to tell someone something big? Well, I had to tell my neighbor that their annoying piece of shit dog hanged itself on my fence. I phrased it more kindly than that, of course. Cheers, Ranger Bumblefuck. Hello, Gabosaurus and Amber Claws. Encounters of the third kind. It's Rob Pilo Axes here. Have I ever felt the earth move? This one will be a two-parter. So I work in the decaying husk that is Newcastle's industrial sector and get to blunder about labyrinthine sheds that have seen reworked layout after rework to layout, not unlike Oxford University, except with more rust and machinery. The whole place rumbles with the morbid clattering of plant equipment that management is busy siphoning the last cent off of before scrapping it. As such, the whole place just sort of vibrates, which makes the first walkthrough of piles of jagged scrap and red-hot steel a disconcerting experience. But you get used to that. What you don't get used to is this one gantry way. In the opposite mental reaction to a stopped escalator, the brain screams because the thing moves like it's floating on ball bearings and with the kind of energy normally left for rope bridges. The reason for this I've yet to fathom, as they only let me and my security guard ilk out during shutdowns when nobody else is on plant. The rest of the time we're kept quartered away in the goldfish bowl they call a gatehouse. Have I ever been stuck with a big clean? So around the time of my parents' divorce, they decided to sell their investment property, the added financial stress which probably nudged their shaky marriage over the line, which my brother had been renting from them. The place was a mess. The place reeked of my brother's tobacco, food ground under the carpet for my infant nephew, and general neglect from my sister-in-law and brother. I first got stuck helping them move everything out to their new place. These cheap, shitty bookshelves I'll never forget. Beyond being unreasonably heavy, the black synthetic crap that covered them was like grease. It would constantly defeat even the best grip I could muster on these fucked fixtures. I had to mow the yard, which was a chore because of the concrete slab in the back that belonged to some zoning migraine. Then clean the pigsty as best possible, including scrubbing the walls down with sugar soap and tearing out the carpet and kitchen cabinets. Then paint both on the inside and outside in the blaring Australian summer heat. Then help my father retile the bathroom, which involved mixing several bags of mortar by hand. Then repair the front fence. Then assemble new cabinets for the kitchen. I had a good idea to use my car jack to raise the things up level so I could adjust the screw legs, and I put the skirting board in. And then put in turf. I fucking hated the place by the end, and even the trifling task of waiting for the carpet layers to turn up was nothing but a chore. I didn't get paid squat for this because children are free labor. Yeah. Have I ever had to tell someone something big? So on to a lighter topic. The decaying husk of a place I work gutted our contract down to half the original staff and less than half the hours leading to the cunts I work for to have to figure out what to do with us. They drafted up some plan which involved... Oh, God damn it. Go fucking quiet there. There we go. Drafted up some plan which involved one of us staying where we were and another working part there and part elsewhere at the Feral Mall they held a contract at, with the third being given work at the mercy of the company, which could be anywhere. This got sent out by email just as one of us was going on holiday, with the cutoff being before he came back. The timing was sketchy at best. They'd already punted 2 guys to this site on some bullshit after the union action they led managed to pry some piddling pay increase out of these pricks with the intent of forcing them to leave, which is a whole story in and of itself. This guy had stayed around because it was COVID and work was in short supply, and the other had left. It was obvious they were trying to get rid of him because I liked this guy and the other was a company lapdog and twat. I tried my damnedest to get a hold of him and let him know what was happening. By luck and dint of effort, I managed to abridge him of what was happening, and he was rather grateful because of it, with the kappa being that through some finagling we were both able to stay on the job site. So this is stuff what I felt like. That's all for this Netagram, Rob. P.S. I sent some answers for episodes in the past that haven't been read. Is this because of time, junk mail, some other reason? I thought it was a bit of a shame because of some funny far less grim Stygian content to the mailing. Huh. I don't know. I've never not read a thing. So I honestly don't know. Because I literally have never skipped a fucking thing.
Is it possible it went to spam or something?
I didn't even think this thing had a fucking spam. Like, this is pretty much all spam. I don't know. Well, I'll check now. Spam. Spam, I say. No, there's just... Oh, I've been chosen, Amber, by Bizzo Casino.
Whoa!
Bizzo Casino. Bizzo. Yeah, I don't know if you sent them to the right place or, maybe you fucked up the fucking address somewhere, but I have literally never skipped a fucking email, and there's nothing but Bizzo Casino in my fucking thing, so.
Bizzo Casino.
Yeah, that sounds legit. Hi, Amber and Gabriel. Hope everything has been going well for the both of you. Vegas is already boiling and hitting 40 degrees Celsius temperatures regularly, but it hasn't stopped me from hitting my fitness goals before my summer break. Ever been stuck with a big clean? I've worked in local restaurants and cafes where days had multiple big cleans, either from the day or because we had a party coming through. The worst was either when we knew the health board or corporate was coming through and the younger manager was getting worked up about it. The worst was when I had to spend the latter half of a shift as a waiter working on a party of 30 people that ordered multiple cocktails and had someone who kept breaking things as they got more and more drunk. The worst part was that they had some serious money too, so the manager just wasn't willing to cut the person off regardless of common sense or law. That's when you got to go the other way. You basically double their serves and just get them to pass out. I mean, look, if you're going to be breaking the law anyway, may as well fucking, let's do this. Ever felt the earth move? Yes, several times in fact. The 2 major cities I've lived in, Las Vegas and Los Angeles, are built on near major fault lines, the most active which of the San Andreas fault line, which was responsible for the 1994 Northridge earthquake. Yeah, I remember that. Where it was just like, fuck. LA was like just, the freeway was broken. Like, it was like, oh yeah, the freeway, like, ground was open, That's back when it was just like, yeah, crack open and people went in it.
I know.
Yeah, I know. That's something like, again, we live in Brisbane. Nothing like that has happened here for fucking eons.
The worst we get is often floods once in a while.
Yeah, and like,
that's it.
Yeah. And even those are like, it's a bit different. I was 2.5 years old at the time, so my memory is mostly built from other people explaining things to me years after the fact. My mother was in the hospital waiting to give birth to my brother, so my grandmother had come over to help Dad take care of me on the night of the earthquake. She had apparently fallen asleep holding me in the living room, and the room shaking woke me up. I had wandered into my parents' room and managed to wake my dad up just in time for him to see the first major shock of the quake. God damn it. The rest is a little hazy, but I remember walking down the street after that holding my grandmother's hand while we went to my godparents who lived nearby. It was a little surreal to be awake at that time at that age, especially since LA has fog on most mornings. We ended up having to stay at my godparents until we found a new place to move, which took about 3 months. The foundation of my parents' house buckled during the quake and made it completely unsafe to live in. My mum remembers looking over at the city from the ICU she was in, and she was due at any moment. The Northridge Hospital was built on rollers, allowing the building to sway and move with the earthquake and avoid most damage.
That is insane.
Yeah, like, anti-earthquake, like, architecture is wild. Because, like, shit will move.
When you live in places like this, you don't think of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, why would you?
Yeah.
Because, like, we build this house, and, like, what's the worst going to come? Is the wind going to come strong enough to knock down the house? Probably
really.
not.
No, yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. No, we built it on rollers, because of course we did.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
I live on a building on a skateboard.
That's sick.
And that's the safest version. Because, like, again, the buildings will, like, shimmy. Like, they'll be, like, if you put a hula hoop on some of these things, they'd go. And that's, like, that keeps it from falling down. It's fucking nuts. She described it as being extremely nauseating to see the city sway back and forth like it did. And other than a few drawers and cabinets opening and spilling stuff, the hospital was fine. After that, earthquakes were just a fact of life. Vegas has had less of them, and the fault lines that were built on haven't moved in millions of years, but the couple that we did have were very minor. I remember being in the middle of playing Destiny when I just started to just sway back and forth in my chair. I was high at the time and thought I was just being weird, only to get a message from my girlfriend asking if I felt the earthquake. Thanks for the laughs. I like the idea that, like, you know, some kind of filter has just been filtering someone's probably shitty fucking, stories out. Because I have like one unread fucking email, and it is from Bizzo Casino.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they've probably been sent to some other fucking,
You
TV.
might have spelt the email slightly wrong. You might have accidentally pressed one extra letter or something,
Because, absolutely positively I have not.
It's like how I get jobs, roofing jobs from Ireland in my inbox. For the Dubbo Zoo. And I'm like, all right.
What? The Dubbo Zoo?
Yeah, because they're like, because on Gmail, for like, if you have a full stop, like, let's just say name dot.
Oh, right,
thing.
yeah.
If you remove the dot, it's the same. It's the same email somehow.
It's funny.
So they've put down their emails the same as mine without the dot. Because I've got the dot in mine, so I'm just scanning it.
You got the dot! And they no dot, and you're getting now zoo emails.
Yeah, no, for like years I got a job for working on the Dubbo Zoo.
Oh, that's fucking great. All right. Well, if you want the digital void to jettison your meaningless drivel or to have us read it, send your emails to, and we'll do this nice and slowly for everyone at home, I have felt like this at yahoo.com. That is all lowercase, all one word, no symbols or extra, using the 3 as an E or some other chicanery. It is just, I have felt like this at yahoo.com. All lowercase. And our questions today are: ever been involved in a race? Ever been naked in public or the open? That's going to be a good one. I mean, I shudder to think what fucking letters we're going to get as a result of that. And ever ridden a horse? So send your answers to I have felt like this at yahoo.com. And, oh boy, God help us. I'm gonna get some.
I'm looking forward to these ones.
Yeah, that's gonna be another one of those ones where I'm just like, thanking the various gods that, like, I was old before cameras were everywhere, etc., etc. Like, there's just. I mean, if any of this is wound up on the internet, I'm looking for it. I will tell you now, but
Do us a favor, just send it to us because we will find it.
Yeah, we will find it. We will put it on social media. It's going to happen again. Just
let it happen.
Just go with it. I have been Gabriel Twist.
I have been Amber Twist.
Good evening.
Good night.